Mr. Heng Swee Keat, Minister for Education, Ms. Chan Lai Fang, Permanent Secretary, Education, Ministry of Education, and Chairperson, NIE Council, Mr. Lim Boon Wee, Deputy Secretary, Services, and Group Director, HR, Ministry of Education, Mr. Wong Siu Hoon, Director General of Education, Ministry of Education, members of the NIE Council, distinguished guests, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. At this Teachers' Investiture ceremony, we have the privilege of presenting 325 beginning teachers from the Bachelors of Arts and Science education programs. My heartiest congratulations to all our graduates. You have every reason to be very happy today. Firstly, because you finally made it into this noble, wonderful profession. Yes, you are now a real teacher. No more contract teacher or student teacher, but a teacher in a very prestigious education service. Secondly, you are graduating from one of the finest and most prestigious colleges of education in the whole world. Colleagues and friends, please join me in a round of applause to welcome our newest members of the teaching fraternity. In my first investiture speech as NIA Director, I spoke to graduates about the core of our teaching profession. And I remembered and honored our first director of IE, Dr. Ruth Wong. Her life epitomizes the core and total devotion and dedication to education. In fact, this year I'm so pleased last month that we were able to launch the Dr. Ruth Wong Professorship to further strengthen this legacy of teachers and the kind of commitment we should have to our children of our future generation. In the last investiture in January, I spoke about the care of the teacher for every learner. And I gave tribute to my own personal mentor, Professor Ruben Feuerstein, because Ruben Feuerstein's life was a life of unwavering faith in helping every single child. And I can never forget what he taught me, that every child, irregardless of his background or etiology, should be given the best possible development. And you can always give hope for learning in every child. This year, 2015, has been a special year for all of us as Singaporeans, not only as we celebrate SG50, but we also came together as a nation to remember the life and achievement of our founding father and first Prime Minister, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew. On 23rd March 2015, Singapore woke up to the news that Mr. Lee passed away in the wee hours of the morning. I'm certain every one of you will remember that moment. In fact, most of you were in schools doing the school practicum. And I hope, as you were involved in the school, even as a student teachers, during those 7 days of mourning, you saw how Singaporeans, teachers, students, everybody from every walk of life rallied together. And I hope that event strengthened your love for our country, Singapore. Mr. Lee had always believed that Singaporeans were Singapore's best asset. And when Singapore gained independence, we know that we virtually had no natural assets or resources to rely on except people. We were left with this ultimatum: either we all adapt or we will not survive. Through the sacrifice and perseverance of our pioneer generation, Singapore achieved. Mr. Lee strongly believed that for us to survive and eventually strive, we must be exceptional. I was reading through a number of his speeches. In the 2012 speech, Mr. Lee said, education was not merely for the sake of education. Education had to be based on the needs of the nation. This meant we had to make realistic assessment of our options and what we are up against. You know, if I were to surmise in one word what I learned from our founding father, Lee Kuan Yew, it is this word, courage. Yes, As you step into the classroom as a beginning teacher, I hope you will pursue your profession with courage. Mr. Lee was known to put the long-term welfare of Singaporeans at the heart of all his policies. As teachers, we must be courageous to put the welfare of our students at the center of all our activities. As a beginning teacher, you determine the environment, what goes on in the classroom, the conversation, the culture. Every moment of a child's life or a youth life is precious. You know there's so much meaning you can give to the children in your classroom. Your journey can be likened to a great adventure as you plan and design lessons to engage, to stimulate inquiry and discussion. Do not be afraid to experiment with new pedagogies and reflect on the successes or the shortcomings. Every bit of learning establishes powerful routines and habits of thinking in our children. We need to tell our children that learning is priceless. When they learn something well, nobody can take it away from them. We need to put in our students the skills that lay the foundation of fundamentals that will equip them to be able to learn how to learn and to be lifelong learning as they grow on. Lee Kuan Yew's goal-directed pragmatism instilled in our governance and management the resilience to do things well and adaptively. As beginning teachers, you must have the tenacity to keep honing your craft, growing steadily from a beginning teacher to an expert teacher. Adaptability is one of the most crucial skills of the 21st century. But what does it mean for a beginning teacher? Well, it means having the courage to learn and to climb up even steep learning curve. So I wish for all of you to be courageous in care, in design, in helping your students, especially beyond the curriculum. The tragic incident in Sabah has shown us the exceptional care and ultimate sacrifice a teacher can make for his or her students. As teachers, we need to regard each and every one of our students with utmost care and dedication, not just to prepare them for the exam or the syllabus, but truly prepare them for life. Today, we celebrate the success of one of the top performing systems in the world, Singapore. I have been asked many times, what is the secret of success of our educational system? And I always reply, our teachers. Yes, you. Our educational system is exceptional and unique in many ways. Our teacher education system is not just university-focused and craft-oriented, but we have a very strong partnership between the ministry, NTU, NIE, and the school system. And we are privileged to have a very strong research practice nexus in the way we grow our teachers. Singapore teachers have clear professional pathway, growing from novice to the master teacher. We have clear milestones articulating what this growth of the professional teacher is like. We have a very highly selective recruitment process, a rigorous teacher education system, and wonderful staff development opportunities. You need to grow to become highly competent in pedagogical theory and pedagogical inquiry and in good practices. At the recent Redesigning Pedagogy Conference for 2005, held just last month, I was personally very impressed by the fact that more than 90 schools and 10 MOE departments presented papers, symposia, and workshops. So together, there were more than 100 papers covering the symposia, workshop, and presentation. And I must say that the quality of presentation of this research by our teachers were not just rudimentary action research type things. They were truly good, qualitative, quantitative research backed by scientific inquiry and thinking, and yet providing deliverables to help our students learn best in our system. In conclusion, the late Mr. Lee recognized the pivotal role that teachers play in our educational system. In 1966, he addressed a meeting of school teachers with this simple but powerful message. Teachers are the most important digit in developing a top-quality educational system. He said, if I have to choose one profession in which to give the most for the least, it is probably teaching. If you have the temperament to coax, to stimulate, to cajole, to discipline a young mind into good habits. Dear teachers, as you step out into the world as beginning teachers, the time has come for you to pave the way for our next generation of teachers and learners. I hope that you can impart to our next generation our indomitable spirit, resolve, fortitude, and loyalty. I wish you a fulfilling journey ahead as beginning teachers. Thank you.